Well, hello everyone. I'm HouZhaowei Ho, and the Agile tool that I'm gonna introduce to you is Maven. Some of you may familiar with Maven. Some of you may say that Maven is only a build tool, just like Ant. But I'm gonna say Maven is more than a build tool. It is also a highly integrated tool. It is an Agile tool. So the page now that I'm showing to you is a download page for Maven. Now the latest version is 3.2.3, and after you download it, you only need to unzip it and add this environment variable into your system. The core of Maven is POI. Its full name is Project Object Model. It integrates so many things into a single configuration file, which includes developers, dependencies, plugin, reporting, distribution management, source control management, mailing list, continuous integration, issue management, and original information. So you can see there are a lot of agile features into this POM configuration file. And here is the example. I built a simple Java web project, and here is what pom.xml like. It's basically an XML file. It's a base some rows of XML, and the project will need some jars, some libs, and you simply need only need to add those configurations here, block by block. What is the old way to do to add dependencies? The old way you have to download the dependencies one by one from the internet, and after you download those dependencies, um, it can't guarantee that your project will compile correctly because those dependencies may depend on other jars, other libs. So you have to download the dependencies of those dependencies, which is very annoying and time consuming. So there may be another issue is that after you finish your part and you commit your code, you will see some errors because the dependencies of your partner or your team member downloaded may be different from yours. He may download the jar from other website and he used another version. Well, Maven can solve this mess by its nature. For example, if you need Spring Web MVC, if you need this jar, you can visit the Maven official website. This is the Maven official website, and you can search for Spring MVC. Here you will get many results, and the first one is the most relevant one, and it is the one you want. So here are some versions, and you can pick a version you like. You will get this configuration block, and you can copy and paste it into your POM configuration file. And if you also need other jars, you can do this step by step. And after you finished your dependencies, you run Maven. Maven will automatically download those dependencies. And what about cascade dependencies? You do not need to worry about them anymore. Um, on the left side, it shows that the jars that Maven actually downloaded based on this POM configuration. Um, the number of those jars are much greater than the number of jars you needed because Maven can automatically download the cascade jars, the cascade dependencies. So you do not need to worry about them anymore. And what about the consistency problem between you and your team member to maintaining those jars? This is also solved by Maven because you only need to maintain this POM file. You do not need to worry about the jars and the dependencies, the cascade dependencies. you all need to maintain those files, which is very easy to maintain between your team. Um, so, so this amazing POM file can solve these two problems very easily. And you may ask another question: where did Maven download these labs into? So the answer is these are in your local file system. Maven by default will download it into your home directory. There is a hidden folder called .m2, and if you enter this directory, you will see a repository folder, and take the MySQL jar for example. You can see that the group ID is MySQL, the artifact ID is MySQL connector Java, and the version is 5.1.26. So there must be a MySQL folder and MySQL connector, and you can go to 5.1.26, and here's the jar file. Now back to the top level folder. You can see that all dependencies and all cascade dependencies and even the jars that Maven itself will need are in this directory. So basically Maven has organized all the jars that it may use into this directory. And Maven has great IDE support, and all widely used IDEs support Maven. Now I'm using the IntelliJ IDEA, which is now a very famous IDE, and you can also use Eclipse and so on. IDEA can recognize Maven and can detect the jars that Maven downloaded and add them into current project, so that the project will have no compile errors. It will organize the jars this way. You can see the hierarchical, the details of the jars, and even the class file itself. It's very convenient. Well, Maven has solved two major problems, which are cascade dependency and team consistency. These two are very important in Agile development because they will save a large amount of time, and more importantly, will have the project well organized. To my experience, when the project grows large, you really don't want to see these two problems above. They may cost even half or more of your development time. So, what if you want to build a lab of yourself? Let's say that your team needs to provide a kind of service to other teams. They will need you to provide a lab so that they can easily use your service. Here I'm gonna introduce another very powerful and also open source tool called Nexus. Nexus is free, and you can download Nexus in its official website, and it's really easy to install. And here's the Nexus that I installed into my Amazon server, and this is the URL. It's the default port is A0A1, and before logging, you can see those repositories. The access to these repositories are limited, so I'm gonna log in as a administrator, and here you can see that in the third-party repository, which is highly recommended to upload the third-party jars, third-party labs. So you will probably upload your jar into this repository. Here's the browse index. There are no jars, and you can upload your own lab from given parameters. The group ID is my company, and the artifact ID is my lab. and the version is 0.1, and you can select a jar from your local file system, which is my jar.jar. I'm gonna upload this jar and add artifact and upload successfully. Now if you browse index, if you refresh, you will see that this jar has been uploaded. And if you click this jar, it will show you the dependency block. You just need to copy and paste this dependency block into your POM file, just like the Maven public repository. It is very convenient. So here in this diagram, I'm showing a complete business solution for Maven-based development. Here, M2 Eclipse is the Eclipse plugin of Maven, and Hudson, the tool that you guys are all familiar with. It's an Agile tool for continuous integration and other functions. Here, Hudson can seamlessly integrate with Maven. It can perform continuous integration and automatic build. So here in this cycle, it starts from Nexus and it goes to M2 Eclipse. It goes to Eclipse, so that developers can use the binary code to develop. And after the development, it will go through SCM. SWAP will deliver the binary code to Hudson. And Hudson can apply automated build and give back to Maven, and Maven can deploy and build artifacts to Nexus. So it basically, after this cycle, it goes back to Nexus. So developers only need to concentrate on development, and Maven and Nexus can handle all other problems like automatic development and distribution, continuous integration, and so on and so forth, using this magic cycle. Nexus can also automatically connect to Maven Central repository, which I showed you before. I showed you this website. This is actually the Maven Central repository, and so that those other third-party jars which are managed by Maven will automatically be used without upload them into your private repository. So how to use the private repository? There's another configuration file. It is also located in your home directory .m2 folder, and you can see there is a settings.xml. So in this configuration file, I'm simply add some repositories. The central repository was using my private repository, Nexus private repository, and so that it will automatically managed by Nexus and linked to Maven central repository. And the third-party repository, I'm also using my private repository, and I can upload my own jars into this repository. So there's another repository which is managed by another third-party company. It is Cloudera, and the company can supply this this URL to you, and so that you can use their jars, use their labs through this link. Maven can download those jars, those dependencies from this link. By far, I only introduced dependencies, which is a core and most important part of POM, of Maven. And because of the time, I can't go deep into every details. But now I'm gonna give you a brief introduction to the plugins. So here in the POM and in this block, there's a build and plugins, and you can add some plugins into Maven. This is a Maven compiler plugin, What it does, it is actually do if you go to the project folder, there must be a pom.xml in this in current folder so that you can run Maven. So now we input Maven package, and it will actually does a automatically build, and it will generate a WAR file, which is a web file, and into the target folder. And the target, you can see this is a ATPA and 1.0 the war, and you can copy this WAR file to whatever web server you want, to Tomcat, to Racing, and to JBoss, or whatever web server you want. So this is the compiler plugin, and and in the below there is a Tomcat plugin. So you don't need to compile into this WR file and copy it into Tomcat if you just want to test. So you can use Maven to run Tomcat and to test your code. So by using this Tomcat plugin, you can just use mvn tomcat run, and it will automatically download. Oh, here I got some errors. Do you know the reason? It is because now I'm not in the top level folder. I mean, in the target folder, it doesn't have a POM, so it gives some error, like build failure. So I'm gonna go into the top level folder. There's the pom.xml in it, and I can do mvn tomcat run. So Maven will basically download jars, download Tomcat jars and run Tomcat server. So now you can see that the server has been started and serves at the port 8080. So I'm gonna open the browser and I'm gonna visit this page. So localhost 8080 slash project name, which is ATPA, and I have a bus controller, which basically print the bus ID, which is 1. I got the response. It is the bus ID is 1. So the web server is up and it runs perfectly using Maven. By using Maven plugins, it is really convenient for you to do like compile and some test and other amazing features. So for the rest of the features, I'm afraid I don't have time to introduce them to you one by one, but I'm going to show you that Maven actually supports all of them. This page is a Maven official document for the POM configuration. And take reporting for example. Let's search reporting. Yeah, so Maven supports reporting by adding those configurations into POM, and also for distribution management. Distribution management, yes, by adding those lines, and for, let's say, issue management. Yes, here we got issue management, and you just need to add those blocks into Maven. And for continuous integration management. Yeah, so you can say that Maven is super strong. It actually supports most of the Agile features, and you just need to add them into the single POM file. Actually, you can also inheritance the POM file. You can have a super POM which have some basic configuration, and you can have sub POMs to do some detailed configuration. So I think that's all for my introduction to Maven, which is a fantastic Agile tool. Thanks.